Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the TOCKR USS Texas, which sells for $999 plus $15 for shipping. I'm going to try not to call it the USS Texan. It is the USS Texas. So it is powered by a high-grade Swiss quartz movement. I could not find the exact reference for the movement, but it is a Swiss-made movement, and the watch is Swiss-made as well, which you can see here indicated down at 6 o'clock. But before we get into the watch any further, let's take a quick look at the packaging. It comes in this nice leather package here, and it is padded on the inside. The watch sits right here in this cutout. That's just the plastic that was on the dial. So it'll work well for a travel case as well. And you can see here it is engraved with a Battleship Texas foundation. And you'll see that on the case back of the watch as well. So let's zoom back in and take a look at the watch. So this case is 316L stainless steel. It is a mix of brushed and polished surfaces. You can see the bezel here is brushed and then also polished on the edge. And that corner is pretty sharp right there, so nice machining there. You see polished on the case side, and the case top is brushed. So really a nice mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. The crown is also pretty cool looking. It looks kind of like a turban there, and then the knurling is unique as well. So this is just a push-pull crown, so that's not really doing anything when you wind it here, as it is a quartz movement. This position will be for the date. Let me move the handset out of the way here. So there's the date, and as you can see, the second hand did stop as I pulled the crown all the way out. The date wheel is set down there quite a ways from the dial, but you can still see the date fairly easily. Actually, I think this watch would look better without a date. You can see more of this silhouette. Can't say that word very well, but silhouette, or the outline of the battleship here. So that's a cool feature. Also, this outline is loomed, which we'll look at towards the end of the video. So let me set the time back to the actual time. Maybe. I don't know what time it was set at before. There we go. So also, if you notice the rehaut here, that ring of metal is actually a piece of reclaimed material from the battleship, from the USS Texas. And each piece will be unique. I'm not sure what this piece of material is, if it's metal or what exactly it is, but it looks pretty cool. I think it's a nice touch to carry around on your wrist, a piece of the USS Texas. And I guess I should have looked up the history of the battleship, the BB-35 Dreadnought. If you know the history, please feel free to put it in the comment section. I do like this case shape. It's unique. It's this cushion shape. The lug to lug is actually very close to the diameter measurement. You know what? Let's just talk about that right now. Lug to lug on this watch is 42.6 millimeter, and then the case diameter, I measured it at 42, which is also what it says on the website. Thickness is a little thick at 13.3, but it's kind of the way it has to work with this short lug to lug, because the strap needs to fit in here and it goes underneath, kind of underneath the case here. I'll take this off and show you that in a moment. Lug width is 22, and on this strap it tapers down to 20. And this is a blue colored strap, but on the website it says it's black, so I'll link that in the description as well. And we'll call this, well, it is a gray dial, with a black strap. So let's take a quick look at the Caseback. Polished with this engraving here. Again, the Battleship Texas Foundation. There's a front view of the battleship there. And here's a little bit of information. 5 ATM waterproof, which is 50 meter. And so it did, actually on the website, it does tell you it's the quartz, what does it say? Quartz BB35MS.03.RS or something to that effect. But I looked it up. I couldn't really figure out what movement that is. So, I mean, I guess I could take the screws off, but I'm not going to. This is a screwed caseback, not a screw down caseback. For example, this here is a screw down caseback. Seiko SKX. We'll look at these side by side in a moment. And then over here we have born in Austin, Texas, and Swiss made. So the watch is designed in Austin, Texas. That's where TOCKR is located. So let's look at this side by side with my SKX. This does have sort of a cushion case shape as well. This is a 42 millimeter diameter watch also. And the SKX is slightly thicker than this TOCKR watch, but the SKX is good for 200 meters of water resistance. So let's get this back off to the side. And then I said I was going to take off a strap here. But if you look at this, you can see the strap basically sinks underneath the case, or it goes into the case. So it gives it kind of a integrated look here, especially seeing how this is curved. And then the strap is it's all hidden. You don't see the top edge of that strap. You can see it here though, right there. So let's take this off and take a look at the case. So you can see how that works. This portion of the case covers the top of the strap. So that's pretty neat. Again, it's all polished here. The strap attaches really far back from the end of the lugs. So let me put this back on and I'll get this on wrist, and then we can check out the loom here. So of course this is a quick release strap. Gotta get that back in there. There we go. I'm sure you heard that click from the spring bar engaging again. But also I wanted to mention this is a sapphire crystal. It is a flat sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating applied. And then the proceeds from the sale of this watch go towards the restoration efforts of the BB35 USS Texas. I'll put that information in the description below as well, a little snippet of that. And it says it's tax deductible, so that's pretty neat. So let me get this on wrist, and then we can check out the loom. We'll compare the loom to the SKX as well. Just checking my notes. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Oh, I do like that this strap has this cutout here, and there will be a notch in, not a notch, there'll be a nub in this keeper here, I think. Or is it, let's see, how's that? No, it'll be up here on this part of the keeper. Yep, there we go. So that prevents the keeper from slipping off the end of the strap. That's a very nice touch because, say for this one, for example, I'd like to put that last keeper right towards the edge, and oftentimes it'll just slip off of there. So anyway, I'll set that back over here. Get this on wrist. So again, I appreciate TOCKR for sending this over for us to check out. Always like checking out these different watches. Really wasn't all that familiar with this brand. Come on. This takes a little bit more effort to get that last keeper in there, but it's worth it because now it's not going to come off of there. And like I said, this is a blue strap. Actually, I can show you next to this black one here. So yeah, even though it's a 42 millimeter diameter watch, which would probably be a little bit large for my 6.5 inch wrist, it doesn't look all that bad because of that short lug to lug, that 42.6 lug to lug. That's actually smaller than some 36 millimeter watches that I have. It is a little thick for my preference though, especially considering it's not a dive watch. But you know, some folks like thicker watches. Also, that slab-sided case doesn't really help. It's just the same profile from top to bottom essentially. It doesn't curve like the SKX here does. So it has some of the thickness for me. Alright, let's zoom out here. And then we'll pause the video and check out the loom. So there, it doesn't look too bad from there. You can see some of that AR coating. Yep, there we go. You can see a little bit of a bluish tint there. If you have not subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Like the video and leave a comment below. It helps out a lot, and I like talking with you guys and getting your viewpoints on these watches and anything else you know, watch related on your mind. Also, this is a signed buckle. I forgot to mention that. Right there, TOCKR. Alright, let me pause the video and we'll be right back with the loom. Alright, so of course on the left we have the TOCKR USS Texas, and on the right my SKX 009. As far as the loom, I would say the handset on the TOCKR is a little brighter than the handset on the SKX. The loom is dying down right now though, so perhaps the SKX would have a little bit better loom. I would kind of expect that as it is a dive watch, and the indices and handset have more loom applied just because they're larger than the TOCKR. But the outline of the Battleship there is very cool on the watch. It's not quite as bright by eye as what is on the camera here, but it's still pretty cool. You know, especially if you hang out in places where there's black lights or whatever, maybe a bar or something, you might be able to show off this watch to some folks and impress them with it. I don't know, but it does look pretty cool. So anyway, that will conclude today's video. As always, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.